Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it again with another L. The Indianapolis Colts just can't seem to figure it out. Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Coach Shock, and man, what a blowout. The Colts lose to the Patriots in a game that never even looked like there was a chance of winning. The Colts still have the same struggles. Sam Ellinger, it's truly sad because as Colts fans, we were watching these games for Sam Ellinger's development. But the way that this offense is organized and ran, we're not going to see that happen. And it's unfortunate, to be honest, because that's what this part of the season's for, because we knew the playoffs was already out of reach. I know there was a few Colts fans that were talking about, oh, we still have a shot, we're a game back. But realistic Colts fans, like, of course, we want to cheer our team on and root for the positivities, but the way that this team is structured, there is no way, hear me out, there is no way we're making the playoffs, okay? If you want to come back and some type of miracle happens, feel free to tag me and comment me in this video. But me knowing that's not going to happen, I'm not even going to worry about it. But this team is truly, it's unacceptable at this point with the team that we have. And like I said, the defense deserves the biggest apology from the owner, from the GM, and from Frank Reich. Because there's no way you can have a team like this on the defensive side, forcing pressure, getting sacks, forcing the team to do some crazy things, and we still can't give them anything out of that on the offensive side. That's just unacceptable. And now, when the offense is going out there and getting 120 total yards in the game, you're forcing your defense to go back out there and they're gassed, risking injury to try to get a stop because your offense can't do anything. And then you got special teams, they're not living up to their standards 100%. It's just too much on the defensive side of the plate to try to get this team to get some type of points. And then they put us in good field position and we still can't put up points. It's just unacceptable at the end of the day, honestly. Gus Bradley's doing all he can, like I said, and this isn't something we're new to. Even when Eberflus was here, it was the same situation with the offense. And it's like, how much more are we going to take of this nonsense, right? Of course, everyone's at Frank's head talking about fire him, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, it's like, you fire him tomorrow, what change is that going to make for the season? Because the season's still over, in my opinion. There's no way we're making the playoffs with how this thing is structured. And to be fair, I think we need to start looking at the bigger picture, right? Of course, Frank Reich's running a terrible offense, but he's only running what he's dealt with, the cards that's on the table. Frank Reich's not making those contracts. He's not signing the contracts. He's not going for the free agents. This is all on Ballard. You hear me? So I think we should start looking at Ballard and front office more than just Coach Frank Reich, We mentioned it on the Blue Stable podcast of how unfortunate it is for after every game, he's the one that's doing the interviews. We never see Irsay commenting. We never see Ballard comment. We always see a Frank Reich comment. On the Blue Stable podcast, we covered all that. It's the new video. Check that out. But definitely, I'm starting to come to that understanding and I feel like the next scapegoat besides Marcus Brady is going to be him. When the bigger picture, I think Ballard is deserving more of the blame than Frank Reich. I mean, Frank Reich didn't play the offensive line. You know what I mean? He didn't go out there and get Gilmore and Yannick Ngakoue in a trade to give away Rocky Sin. He didn't give away George Odom. I mean, he's just the coach. So, like I said, he didn't pay that offensive line. He didn't keep Matt Pryor in at right guard the whole season. That's just management duties, I mean, that's the cards he's dealt. I mean, Frank Reich could have got a right guard a long time ago if Ballard would have gave somebody some money. He could have got a left tackle a long time ago if Ballard would have gave him some money. Ballard's paying the guys. That's him. That's all on front office. Frank Reich's just the head coach at the end of the day. That's the cards he's dealt with. That's what he got to go with. Of course, he's not getting all the blame, but he's still going to get some blame. These tosses on 3rd and 1, you're going for a toss. Well, what are we doing here? Like, a toss? No QB sneak? No run up the middle? Like, of course, we could have did something else beside a toss to go back 4 yards. That's unacceptable. You trying to hand it off to Granson on a run play, that's unacceptable. I asked this question on Twitter. I said, we mentioned how Hines Rowe is going to be replaced with who's on the roster. I'm still waiting for that to happen. And it's quite funny that you mentioned Hines Rowe when he was here, you didn't even use him. And you're still not using his role. And I always thought that was quite laughable. But And it's also another funny story of how the offense was so bad today that the highest reception leader was Jordan Wilkins. And if I'm running back in my brain, Jordan Wilkins was just recently signed from the practice squad that we just signed to the practice squad a week prior. Not even a week, a few days actually, after the Nyheim Hines trade. I thought that was quite funny. There's no way a guy that you just signed should be leading your team with receptions and running the football. Now, again, this goes back to play calling and the poor offensive line structure. Sam Ehlinger didn't have the greatest day, of course, but I mean, he's a sixth round pick. He's still going to go out there. I think he still played pretty decently. There was a few balls right in the hands of Jelani Woods that he couldn't catch. He missed a few targets as well, but I mean, that comes with the territory when you have these things in front of you with a poor offensive line play. And he took credit to it at the end of the day, in which I love. I love that Sam Ehlinger gave himself all of that accountability when he's really not his problem. I mean, he said he has to play better. We can't just blame the offensive line. And I'm going to go to that statement. Frank Wright said the offensive line is not the biggest problem. I mean, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, like some people would say. I'm not the brightest guy. I mean, but we're all watching the same football game. This is the worst offensive line in the NFL. What do you mean this isn't the biggest issue? What is it? I mean, the lack of accountability in this organization right now is quite laughable, to be honest. I mean, at the end of the day, we get the same quotes from the coach. We get the same quotes from the players. And nobody's doing anything about it. I mean, and in week two, a long time ago at the beginning of the season, I asked the question, are the Colts tanking? Now, of course, Kwity Paye came out and said he's going to give 100%. And whatever the Colts fans will talk about when they mention tanking or anything, that's just them. But I'm going out there having some fun, and I'm going to compete. Kwity Paye, we love you. You had a great game. But, brother, you are not the scapegoat here in this situation. What I'm watching is terrible performance. It's not on you. It's not on Bobby Okereke. It's not on Shaquille Leonard. It's not on DeForest Buckner. It's not on Grover Stewart. It's not on EJ Speed. It's not on Zaire Franklin. It's not on Julian Blackman. This offense is the sole reason of why I'm thinking that idea. It's no way you have this talent and you cannot put over at least 150 total yards on offense. You average 2 yards. You average 2 yards a play. How is that possible? And this team, this game looked like it was a dogfight at the beginning. But all of a sudden, the defense just exposed, Bill Belichick just exposed the offensive line, and they had a sack day. Nine sacks. And to be fair, Matt Ryan is laughing somewhere. He is laughing. He is somewhere laughing. He's like, and to think that you guys thought that I was the problem. And now you put in Sam Ehlinger, and it's the same issues. The same problem. I just find it funny. I really do, because it's no way that this team should be playing like this. It's just no way. Now, of course, we're not going to completely blame everybody, but the general answer to the solution to this problem is new regime. Just get rid of everybody. Just start over. Just start from scratch. And when I'm talking about coaching and front office, just start from scratch. The players, this is not the problem. The offensive line is the problem, but all the players aren't the problem. Just start over. We just need a new structure. Once we get all that settled, we'll start seeing a better outcome. It's that simple. Am I saying give Sam Ehlinger another chance for full season? Sure, I don't care. I mean, but I still would like another QB. Because like I said, I'm not really sold in putting my investments Sam Ehlinger be my franchise QB when there's a CJ Stroud out there, or a Hooker, or a Levis, or whoever you want to name. I don't care. You put any other quarterback that's in it. This is the best version. This year is your year to get a quarterback if you're going to do it. Sam Ehlinger came out of Texas 6th round. That's not my problem. Wherever he got drafted, that's on them. I'm just glad the Colts got him because he had heart. He's a good leader. But if it's up to me, I'm getting a quarterback out this draft. Sorry, it is what it is. He can still be on a roster. He can keep you compete. I mean, he can lead you a few plays or a few games. If something happens, worst case scenario, he's a good backup. He's a quarterback. He's talented. He has some miscues. He has some bright lights. But I want a quarterback out the draft. I'm sorry, it is what it is. But like I said, I'm not giving up on the kid. He can put up some numbers if he has to. But like I said, this is solely on him. We still can't see the full development because of the way this team is structured. So I'm willing to give him another chance, but I still would like to get a quarterback. It is what it is. Take it with a grain of salt. But you let me know your thoughts in the comment section about this offense, how they're just robbing the defense of games, and how do you feel about Ballard? Why he hasn't shown up in any interviews? How do you feel about Ursay? How do you feel about Frank Wright? Let me know all these things in the comment section. This is Marcus, and until next time, you've been Culture Shock.